Welcome to all the new faces and those that returned. And we're going to have a great night. That's what we're going to do, okay? And just so you know, if you don't know Lorraine, everyone, here's Lorraine. And also Alicia, and my apologies, but it's hard to get three on.
It is.
Okay, Alicia, she'll be on later, okay? And so Lorraine put this all together, all right? And just so you know, Lorraine has 6 more of these. It's called the Perfect Day Guide. I just want to tell you what it is. This isn't a sales pitch. Go and get this printed. It'll cost you around $250. You're going to pay $95, okay? That's what you're going to pay, US, for it. And it'll cost you about $250 to get it printed, okay? You'll see the quality of it. It's 40 years of my work. And guess what? This is a teaching manual. This is to make you the master of your emotions and the master of your body. Okay? It really is. Okay? You'll find every situation in here and how to take massive personal action.
So they work out to 125 Canadian.
Yeah. Now, if you don't want to spend the money, you can download it for free. pdgfree.com. I challenge everyone here to go home tonight and take a look through it. And you're reading the most powerful health book that I know. And you can go, well, you wrote it, Daryl. Well, I didn't. I had the help of many people that were a lot more smarter than I am in different areas. But everything in here is not just a story. You ever notice when you get a health book, you read it, oh, that was really great. Now what do I do? How do I take action? Well, this is only a take action book. Remember something, if you want to get treated and stay that way, you're going to get mistreated. And I can see all the mistreated people in here. All of you, I can see all of you. You know, it's the craziest thing. You'll go to a medical doctor that knows nothing about health and you'll call him your primary care practitioner. You can be programmed to spit anything out. Oh, really? Drugs, chemo, radiation, surgery. Oh, I'll send you to a specialist. They'll give you stronger drugs. Now, if you think I'm putting them down, I'm not. If you need emergency care, go to them. If you want to go to them, you'll become an emergency. And guess what? You've all been programmed. Do you know when the programming started? When did the program start? That human beings were programmed to the point of destroying themselves and each other. The Romans. Oh, that's just a little while ago, eh? So, let me just put it to you this way. I call tonight the illusion, okay, of an external savior. Oh, your boyfriend was going to save you. No, your husband was. No, the doctor was. How many saviors are going to wait for? You're the only one that's going to save you. There will be people that will help you along the way. But nobody's going to save you. Look at how you've all bought into life is about pleasure and pain. Look at how most of you women and men will suffer so fast. You look for a place to suffer. You think I'm kidding? You look for a place to suffer. Because it's all about the suffering. Oh, come on. The gentleman over here is shaking his head and you can look at the suffering he's gone through. For God's sakes, you know what? You look like you've been suffering all your life. Let me tell you something right now. You don't even know you're suffering. Do you understand this whole thing was set up? It's been going on for centuries. It didn't just happen yesterday. Look at, some of you are going, guess what? It's Friday night. I wish I wasn't here. I wanted to go have fun. Well, guess what? I have fun all day long, every day. Let me tell you something right now. You can use your mind. Look how limited you are. What if you came from the heart? What if you traveled the way of the heart? Do you know what that is? It's infinite. You may not believe this, but I do everything from my heart. Everything from my heart. I may go off a little bit, but I'm not off for more than 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. And I'm right back. Everything is about creating chaos in your life, and everyone in your life creates chaos for you and themselves. Tell me I'm wrong. And then if you go, that's not true, you should see my family, I say that you are a zombie. And I'm not telling you that people are stupid. I'm not telling you people are dumb. I'm trying to tell you the programming's been going on for centuries. And that's the deal. If you process through your heart, that would mean that you would have to have unconditional love for yourself. There's not one person in here that has unconditional love for themselves. You don't. You don't. You tell yourself when you deserve pleasure, when you deserve something nice. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that, you didn't work hard and you believe that you had to work hard. You know what men do? They come home and go, hey, honey, how was your day? Oh, my God, it was really rough. Hard day. You know what? Because that's how we show our family that we love them. We're so programmed. How about this? I love my day. What a great day I had. But you could tell, too, because he has lots of energy and he's got a smile on his face and he actually wants to hug you, kiss you, go for a walk. He loves you because he loves his life. Because he's passionate, he has purpose. We talked about it last night a little bit about how the brain is 90% subconscious. There was no reason for that. That wasn't created by God. By the time you're 7 years old, you almost lost your spirit. By the time you're 12 years old, you're looking for someone to fill you up with love, and it certainly isn't your family. You know, when I was being raised, I don't know about the rest of you, but those of you that maybe, are around my age, remember how they used to tell us that we were the most intelligent species in the universe? For God's sakes, we're not the most intelligent species in the room. The reality is this, you're not intelligent if you don't have unconditional love and care for yourself. You're not intelligent, okay, if you can't make a logical choice. And everybody's got choices to make every day, but what if you made unconditional choices that were dipped in love? Like, just totally. What if you actually told people you didn't want to eat something or do something because it was against what you stood for? How many times have you ate, drank, and done something because you needed their approval? How about all your life? All your life. Let me tell you something. If it's not true, then you should be vibrantly healthy with tons of energy. How many of you talk about the political situation of Trudeau? How many people you talk about big pharma? How many people talk about the price of food going through the roof? How many people talk about the gasoline prices? Guess what? You're toxic. You have sick talk and you're toxic. I never talk about the prices. I don't talk about anything like that. I never even get involved in that stuff. Everybody's so involved in the political side of it right now. God, we're 8 billion strong. They're probably 250,000 strong. That's all they are. But the reality is guess what? They hold us captive with money. And most of you fear the government. Most of you fear your own medical doctor. Come on, you call me up. They want me to come in for, I don't know what to do. Should I answer the phone or pretend I'm not home? They want to stick it up my thing again. You think I'm kidding? This is how we live. You fear medical doctors, you fear the hospital on what they're going to do to you. Well, why are you there? Because you don't love yourself. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't do it. What are they going to do, throw you in jail? Remember, they're only going to take a knife to you if you go in there. They're not going to knife you if you don't. You do whatever you want to do. But just remember something, they're emergency care. I'm not emergency care. I don't even want to treat you. I want to train you. I don't want you coming into my place for treatment all the time. You wouldn't have to have treatment all the time if you didn't mistreat yourself, right or wrong. My God, you can't even get your cupboards cleaned and your fridge cleaned out. But guess what? You'll actually buy poison and feed it to people because you need love so badly. We were created, and we are also created in weakness because we need love. We're emotional beings. And if we don't want to do it for ourselves, we have to get it from somewhere else, don't we? Oh, like you've never ever, you've never ever done things or said things or to get love from someone. We all have. And you don't even know you're doing it. This is where it's at. This is where it's truly at. I'm going to tell you, I have been doing whole life coach certifications, okay? One-on-one interventions since I was 30 years old. It's a little while. I've met 3 couples that I would say that loved themselves and loved each other in that whole time. The whole thing is rigged. The whole thing needs to be thrown out. Tell me one system that you participate in that's not toxic. Well, you know, it's the only thing they offer. Well, why even go to it? Why even do it? Why participate in it? Why aren't you looking to have the best life? Protecting yourself, respecting yourself, honoring yourself. Because guess what? It'll come up against your family. It'll come up against your husband. It'll come up against your wife. How many times have you tried to change and you weren't allowed to change because the rest of the family thought you're in some kind of cult? You're a health nut. Oh my God, you want to spend money on that foolishness? Hey, did you pick up my case of beer? Welcome to planet Earth. And if you knew this, you might want to know that guess what? They laugh at us. They think we're a joke. You think I'm kidding? They think we're all a big joke. We'll drink their poisonous water. We'll eat their poisonous food. We'll go into their poisonous corner stores. You know, we'll have to drink alcohol on the weekend because we have to go have fun because it's the weekend. I have fun all the time. And I stay present and I get the job done. Follow me for 1 year and you'll see that I'll do more in 1 year than you'll do in 10 years, and I'm not putting you down. I'm trying to tell you, you were programmed for destruction. And whether you want to believe this or not, okay, the economy is going to crash economically. And you need to understand that the whole thing was set up. I'm not going to go through it. I could do a class here tonight, 2 hours, and show you the whole thing. It's all set up. I can tell you that it's going to happen in the next few months. And it's going to rock everybody's world, and people aren't ready for this emotionally. It doesn't matter what the chaos is. I am no more than 30 seconds out of alignment. Did you get that? And then you know what you would do if I hung around with you? I'm suffering, and you've got a slight smile. Yeah. Well, whenever this happens, I'm like upset for at least 3 days. Okay, well, let me know when you're done. I'll come back. I will not suffer for my children, my partner, for nobody. But I will hold the line. Let me tell you something. How many people did you help today that fell behind? I make sure that nobody falls behind. Do you ever notice in this world, the rich only help the rich, the middle class only help the middle class, and hardly anybody helps the poor? Well, screw them. Who cares about them? No. They're going to be my project. Because everything is a program. They're no dumber than anybody else. They were just programmed differently. They woke up in a poverty, poor family. The only reason why people are sick is because they have sick beliefs. The only reason why people are poor is why? Because you got poor beliefs. I just got to pay my bills. I got to go to work every day. I said this last night, and then I'm going to get off my little rant. But I'm going to tell you something right now. And you know what? You're going to think, oh, he's a smart ass. He's going to get it. You know what the reality is I'll never be sick. I don't believe in sickness. Disease means out of ease. Everybody's trying to find peace. Well, you can't find peace because there's always going to be war on this planet. Oh, you didn't know something? You want to know something? Take the word earth and mix it around, and it used to be called heart. The heart was taken out of this planet. We were told that we have dominion on this planet, weren't we? Right? Over everything? That's bullshit. We don't have dominion. They just said you had dominion so that you would go around killing things and raping the planet and stripping it of everything. We don't have dominion over anything. We should be respecting it and honoring it. You don't have dominion over nothing. You should have dominion over yourself, and that's it. My God, look at the blood we spill. Look at the torture we do to ourselves, to our family, to our children, please. The worst thing for children is adults. We all know that. They're the enlightened ones, but they get punished because guess what? A child will act like the parents, and the parents don't even know it. So then they punish the child and put it in its room. Isn't that great? What a program we have. I'm not picking on you. I'm trying to tell you, don't let it make you angry. Just remember something. It's all about your heart. It's about filling up your heart. It's about seeing how fast you can come back into alignment. Don't look for peace on this planet. Remember the bathing suit Miss America? And what would you like? I want world peace. Are you like crazy? You can't even get peace in the home. You can't get even peace in your mind. I mean, who gives people this stuff? And guess what? If you're looking for peace, that means you're at war. So don't look for peace, because that means you're at war. And if you're looking for peace, that means you're just a piece of it. I want to be whole. If I'm going to be whole, I need to be in alignment. If I want to be in alignment, I've got to base myself that I'm going to fill my heart up every day. I have a partner. She's so beautiful. And guess what? They cut me off.
Live access removed.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Who cares? That just makes it one less phone to have to look after. I just want you to know something. I don't care. You know? Because guess what? I don't threaten. I've already had the Canadian government come after me 3 times. They can come after me and they can tell their stories all they want. Isn't it something? You can tell stories and most people will believe them. Isn't that something? And guess what? If you tell a story that somebody's really evil, you buy into it. And if you tell a story somebody's good, well, he must be up to something. If he's good, he's after something. What does he sell? It's got to be a scam. We are so programmed to attack each other. Humans are programmed to attack each other, to hurt each other. And that's the truth. You think about it. Think about the relationships you have. I don't have any bad relationships. Do I have people that our belief systems don't match? Absolutely. I probably pissed off half the room already. But the reality is this, I didn't try to. I'm trying to tell you there's a lot more of you than you know inside of you. You haven't even scratched the surface yet. The last thing they want you to do is have unconditional love, because if you do that, You'll say no when you need to. You'll say yes when you need to. And that's what you would do. But no, if you had unconditional love, you'd probably go to hell forever. Because suffering is the way to the Lord. Is it? Is that what we were told? Suffering is the way to the Lord? I'm not buying into it, but you can. And just remember, just because my beliefs help me have more fun and be able to breathe and be able to be aligned and be able to focus on the beauty of this planet. Remember something. The same person can take the same walk and they're all going to see something different, aren't they? Didn't you see that, honey? What? I just saw a turd on the ground. There was a butterfly. No, well, that's because you were looking down. And we look down because we've been downed. We've been put down. But who cares? They're just words. Yes, words have power. But do not care what anybody has to say to you unless they're supporting your passion, your purpose, and your dreams. Listen, your lover, your husband, your wife, your children can be jealous of you. It's all about family. No, it's not. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about staying in your heart. If it's all about family, then we're in trouble if this is as good as it gets. Do families argue a lot? Do families get along? Not a lot. Well, we're all going to try to get along because it's Thanksgiving. I hope Uncle Harry doesn't come. I don't go where I don't want to go. I don't do what I don't want to do. Don't fit in. You'll get done in. The majority of the population is sick, yes or no? Okay. Wow. Aren't the natural health therapists doing a great job? I'm not putting them down. I'm just trying to tell you that most of these natural health therapists have been taught in schools that play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. I don't do that. I bring the thunder down. If I actually did something to break the law, then why am I in jail? Why am I in jail? Because I couldn't go to court. But we can make up lies. What, nobody's ever said something about you that wasn't true? So you mind your own business, don't you? And you don't get involved in those people, do you? You don't. Don't try to be right. Don't try to win the fight. And that's where we make a mistake. Okay? Somebody wants to debate with me, you win. You got it. And you know why you win? Because those are your beliefs. Daryl, I think you're the worst person in the world. There you go. Good for you. Now what are you going to do with it? Do you understand? No, you don't understand. Have an inner standing. Are people moody? When people get depressed, do they say nice things? Oh, well, wait a minute. How many people knew that 85% of the Canadian population is in depression right now? There's got to be a lot of nice things said, eh? How many people know that 86% of the population in Canada has an autoimmune disease? Not one, but two, but almost three. How many people know that 80% of the population is overweight and 46% is obese right now? Now, if you're obese, that's a lot of infection. That's a lot of inflammation. Now, that's not going to change your personality at all? That's going to make you jolly? Santa was not jolly. I mean, anybody has a belly like that, he had gas ass. Seriously. And anybody else that came into the bathroom after him wasn't jolly either. And then guess what? Just because I like to be a troublemaker, Santa stands for Satan. Isn't that nice? See, everything is just a charade. I'll never lie to my kids about anything. Tooth fairy, Santa. My wife would say, I say to her, why do we give this guy the credit? I want my kids to know that I love them and we bought this for them. I don't want to lie to my children. You know what? You're raised to say never lie. You're all liars. Unless you're healthy, you're a liar. What does that mean? Because if you were telling the truth to yourself, you would never be sick. You wouldn't be overweight. You wouldn't be underweight. You wouldn't be poverty-stricken. Your beliefs, they make and shape your whole life. They make and shape your whole life. The house you live in right now, the clothes you wear, the friends you hang around with, the person you married or the person you're with. But guess what? Now you changed and now you don't want to be with them. But guess what? God wouldn't like that. I'm going to stay with him forever. Think about it. Why don't you go back in history and look how we're being controlled? My God, the Catholic Church that is sicker than almost anything on the planet, okay, is telling us how to behave. Now do you see why I'm building my own app? So that they don't tell me to shut my app? Because I'm not going to shut up. Because there's some people out there that, guess what? Just because somebody learned something that was passed down by 5 generations doesn't make it right or the truth. Oh, and if we were told the truth, why do we have so much sickness? And why is it so difficult for you guys to get well? You're not here because you're healthy or you're a spy from the government and it's their time to come and get me again. So the reality is you're searching for something because it's not out there for you to find. It's not. You can believe it or not, but this is where this really gets me, because you can believe this or not, but I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to take from you. I said it last night and I'll say it again. This is a free lecture. You're paying exactly what this cost us to make. I have the largest masterclass library in the world. And it's free. I do. And it's free. I do consultations live, which I risk. Because guess what? They're just waiting to get me to say, I cured them. Or to switch it around, or, or make a false promise. There are no cures. You know what there is? Only a perfect day. You see this perfect day? This is great marketing. Because guess what? If you had a perfect day and you did it every day, what would you have? What would you have? You'd have a perfect life. As perfect can be, on a place that is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. Because as soon as you get here, they're trying to kill you. Yes or no? Right? So I'm not going to get into it really deep, but guess what? There's a government inside of your government that actually works for an evil entity on the planet, and we're their food. And if you wake up to that, just know that if you unconditionally love and care for yourself, and you process through the heart, and you have an understanding about this, and you don't think that it's selfish to want to go and learn how to love and care for yourself first and foremost. What do you think would have been different when you had children if you had unconditional love for yourself and you knew how to care for yourself, feed yourself? What would have been different about your children? What would have been different about your children? It's the craziest thing, I'll say to someone, I'm not going to buy into this unconditional love. That's a cult. And then I'll go, well, let me ask you a question. Would you like your kids to love themselves 10%? 40%? 60%? 80%? I've never had an adult say 40%. No, I'd want them to love themselves 100%. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's unconditional love. But you can't do it for yourself because you've been programmed that if you did that, you're going to burn. You think I'm kidding? The most simplest thing is the most difficult because you've been programmed by centuries of great manipulation. Take a look at how much you judge things. Have you judged me yet, or a few times? I guarantee you that you've judged the things I've said because I'm trying to stir you up on purpose. So you're judging me. It's a dang good thing that I don't care if you spend a nickel with me. Hey, lucky there, eh? Because I got enough shirts, okay? Could use some underwear. When you have a message as strong as mine, you have to give lots of things away. And why? Because it's all about unconditional. See, I believe that I deserve to have what I want. And if I'm coming from my heart, I'm going to get it. And that's the way it is. Sorry, but that's the way it is. But I'm not sorry. But that's the way it is. Most of you have always wanted things, but guess what? You have belief systems and you don't deserve them. It could be part of your religion. It could be just a guilt trip you're on, or it could be a guilt trip your mother and father are giving you and they're not even alive right now. But you're running that belief system that you don't deserve it because you're a bad girl. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that your beliefs don't haunt you. How about changing them up? How about none of these beliefs matter? And if you think that, at least if you're going to suffer, okay, please call up the people and let them know that you're suffering for them. Why don't you? If you just walked around with a slight smile on your face, did the lion heart press 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, put your shoulders back, and focus on only what you want. Go home and write a Braveheart, contract to yourself. A Braveheart contract. That means that you're going to write where I'd be, what I'd have, what I'd do if I unconditionally love myself, and that which we call the universal creator would actually give it to me, but you probably don't deserve it. I deserve everything that I want because I don't want. When you stop having tons of desires, oh, I just desire this, I desire that, I desire this. When you stop desiring all the time, you won't be going, poor, pitiful me. Do you get this? If I could give you one thing to do, starting right now, is lovingly observe the way you breathe, the way you talk, the way you walk, the thoughts you have. If you could lovingly observe them without judging them. And you do know that everybody lies to me. And they don't even know they're lying. You have to understand something. When people come to me, clients, patients, call them whatever you want. Give them any name you want. They're off the hook. I don't care what they've done. I love them unconditionally. And if you can't have unconditional love for the ones that you love, they're never going to heal. You're going to hold them ransom. Why don't you just close your eyes for a second, everybody? Just close your eyes and think about the family member or the friend that you don't like, that you're holding a grudge against. Why? Because their beliefs don't match yours. And look if they're not alive right now, or even if you don't want to get together with them because maybe they're an alcoholic or a drug addict, let them off the hook. I get it. If they come and they're like chaos, no, you shouldn't have them in your life. You can tell them from afar, or you can tell them on a phone, I love you, but you can't come into my life and be chaos. Why do we have to get angry all the time? Trust me. Why do we have to judge so harshly? Why do we have to fight back? Do you ever notice something? I'm going to fight this cancer. I'm going to kill this cancer. Really? Really? There's no such thing as cancer. It's stage 4 inflammation. The more anger and the hate you have, the worse the cancer. And the more anger and the hate you have for yourself, and I can prove it, you're going to go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, I do. The biggest research that was ever done on cancer is in my library. It's called The Emotional Chemistry of Cancer, Disease, and Healing. And the whole medical system suppressed it. You can take a look at a person's cancer, and guess what? You can tell them exactly how they got it emotionally. You can look at a person emotionally and you can tell them what kind of cancer they have. It's not that hard to figure out. Oh, we can't find the cure. Oh, we can't find the drug. Think about it. There's no cure because they're still using chemo, which is mustard gas. They're still using radiation, so it's burning you. I'm not telling you not to go do it, but why wouldn't you try loving yourself? Why wouldn't you? Because you're not going to. I don't want to live, but I'm scared to die. And whether you believe it or not, cancer patients unconsciously, they created their own cancer. And if they didn't have the cancer, they'd be dead already. Because that tumor is storing such hateful guilt beliefs and toxicity. That is one big ball of toxins. And if those toxins didn't get encapsulated into that ball, you wouldn't be here. I'm allowed to say this. And you think whatever you want, from COVID to cancer, it's all been a lie, the whole thing. There's not even a bit of truth to it. And the reality is you go believe whatever you want. But if you would have went into a dictionary and went, let me see here, let's look up COVID. Oh, COVID, okay. Okay, COVID. All right, it's the Greek word for poison. Oh, it's not alive? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at what it says under there in small print. Cannot jump even 1 inch. Whoa, dude. I'm just letting everybody know that I will never do anything that the majority does. I won't eat, drink, or think like them, but I will love them. Because you know what? I was there. And everybody has a different time to come into alignment of unconditional love and care for themselves. It may not be now. It might be later. So why would I judge them? I'm no better than anybody else. I will love your enemy because I have none. And guess what? Do you know how many people in here have decided to pick a side? Seriously. Seriously. You would do that. You would do that. You would pick a side in a war. You would do that. And all you did was pick the side of the story that you decided that someone else picked. Hey, but don't worry. We are the most intelligent species in the universe. Oh, I'm changing all right. I am so changing. I am so changing. You know, nobody ever has to say sorry to me again. Nobody ever has to ask for forgiveness from me again. So you can forget it. Don't say you're sorry for nothing. Sorry to call you. Really? Well, then hang up. I don't mean to take much of your time, you know. You're this great doctor, and yeah, I can't believe I'm talking to you. Yeah, I just got off the toilet and had a big crap. I'm the same as you. Do you understand? Let's get rid of all the illusions. My name is Daryl. I earned the doctor thing, but that's just flypaper. Do you get this? You better get it. Don't ever put me up on a pedestal, because that means I got to fall someday. You keep me right down here. Call me Buddy, call me Daryl, call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't call me sir. Don't you ever look up to anybody again. You look at them. Because when you look up to someone, you put yourself down. And you will never heal. You will never heal. Hey, Daryl, what you got for me? I'll tell you what I got. Do you understand? Stop it. Stop it. Stop putting yourself down. Stop making yourself less. You're not. It's all just been a program passed on from your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents and your greater-greater-grandparents and your greater-greater, all the way back to the Romans. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And here's the deal. Do you want to get well? Do you want to be abundant on all levels? And trust me, money's not the thing I'm talking about. Seriously, I'm not. You're going to find out that everything that I do is geared towards the mission. Is it? And guess what? I don't want thanks. I'm nobody's hero. I'm not doing it for an accolade. I'm not doing it for a trophy. You know what? The hardest road to travel is the road of the Spirit. Everybody goes, I'm on a spiritual path. Oh, please. Okay, please. Wow. Seriously? How about just making choices? How about considering the people that have fallen behind? How about the people that have fallen behind? How about that? How about that? In the last 2 weeks, I've changed. You watch my shows. I'm done. I'm not done with you. I'm not done with health. I'm not done with love. I'm done. I'm done. Why do we have to hide out? Why do we have to be scared? What could 8 billion people do if they came together in love? What could they do? I hate the blacks, so they're out. Are you out of your skull? Seriously. It's, you know, they're just going to pick the next thing on the you know, it's just the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And this is a health lecture. Let me see if you can make it 24 hours with one judgment against yourself or someone else or something else. Let's see if you can't be pulled in to this swamp. You can't tell me one governmental system or corporation that isn't sick. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm letting everybody know because, see, I'll tell you what. 3 years ago, I opened up Extapa Palace. Is it true we'd have sometimes 100 to 200 people coming there for treatments?
Sure did.
Now I have a place that's got 3 bedrooms. It's a beautiful house with a pool. And now we only take like one group at a time, small group. Why is that? Because I'd rather take one small group at a time and just show them how beautiful they are than playing Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. And then also, when I was doing the larger group, what was I doing? Oh, that was Dr. Wolf down in Mexico stealing everybody's money. The CBC would say, well, why don't you tell your story? Well, why should I? Why should I defend myself? Who in the hell are you? Who are you? I know who I am. I'm trying to teach you something. Just because somebody says something, it doesn't make it true. I'm not going to waste my time. What a distraction that would have been, eh? Seriously? I wouldn't have finished this. I wouldn't have opened up DOD 5-star healing retreat again in Mexico. I'm opening up a 35 by 45 studio that is so professional. Has anybody ever heard of Food Forest Abundance? Well, they're huge. And they're coming on my app. My Braveheart Nation app. That's where all my money's gone. Like all of it. That app cost me $200,000. And it's so, did you see how TikTok took me off? Okay? They took me off. But guess what? On my app, it's coming out on August the 8th. You're going to see David Icke, Judy Mikovits. You're going to see everybody that they won't allow to speak on my app. I'm going to have 60 to 120 different people from different nations around the world, different languages coming on and telling you things that will help you to learn how to love and care for yourself and each other. And that's all free. Oh, listen. Yeah, you know, they say I'm dangerous. That is dangerous. Just understand something. Why am I telling you all this? Because I'm boastful? No, because every one of you have a purpose. I am one piece of an 8 billion piece puzzle. That's it. And I'm trying to get the rest of you to show up with your piece. I'm serious. I'm calling out to all the people to find your Braveheart. We need to find it now. We need to come together. You need to practice bravery. You need to practice courage. There is no authority over you. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. There is no authority over me. Say it again. There is no authority over me. That's it. If you could just get that one fact, and that doesn't mean we're going to start a war with anyone. You know, I get people coming in going, boo, boo, boo. Okay, all right. No, I don't think so. They don't know what to do. You don't have to get scared, and you don't have to get angry. Just go, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. But thanks anyway. Thanks anyway. Okay, do you know how many calls I get? Okay, so I'm on my way here. I'm in the car. Dr. Wolf, how you doing? So this is a call from Australia, okay? I've been doing my research, you know, and they want to check my bowel out. So they want to do an x-ray on me. So what do you think? What do you know about it? Well, 50 years ago, they were told to stop doing them because they do more damage than good. Now you're going to leave all that cement in your bowel. And the other thing is you can actually damage your bowel when you just know that. But do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. Well, I know, but I read that too. See, how many of you go to get tested because they tell you that at a certain age you need to get tested? I mean, women, isn't it great that you can go in and they can slam your breast down into a pancake and then radiate it and try to tell you if things are going okay? I don't know why you just don't stay home and just shove the sucker in the microwave. Seriously. Send me pictures. I don't think you can get the door closed. But if you can get the door closed, I'll give you a free manual. No, but guess what? Do you know what time it is? It's time to have their finger up my butt. Are you like kidding? You're like kidding, right? First of all, I don't need anybody checking my prostate, okay? Because I know my prostate's great because guess I'm not pooping in my pelvis. And most of you in here poop in your pelvis. You don't realize this, but the large intestine's the holy grail. Go into my website and watch the Holy Crap, the Holy Grail. And understand something, your pelvis is called a pelvic bowl, and you're all filling it up with poop. What do you think autoimmune disease is? It's leaky gut. It's leaky gut. You can't have an autoimmune disease unless you have leaky gut first. Can't have leaky gut unless you've got antibiotics in your food or you've taken antibiotics or you're an alcoholic or you are been taking prescription drugs. That's the only reason it gets there. Or your mother was on antibiotics when she was pregnant, and it did both your intestines in. Are you with me or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so antibiotics, they vibrate below zero. How many people know that? No, you didn't. Fibber. Okay, so anyways, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So the reality is every word has a vibration. Every food has a vibration. When the sun's out, you have a different vibration. When it's cloudy all the time and cold, there's a different vibration. When the springtime comes, like it's coming now, you get happier. Oh my God, now I can be around her. That's okay. Okay, so the reality is everything has a vibration. How many people know that antibiotics vibrate below zero? How many people know that when you take an antibiotic, hey listen, you've got a life-threatening situation, take them. But come on, I got sinus infection, I got an ear infection, I got an eye infection, seriously? Get the manual and you'll find out. Do antibiotics, go ahead and do them, I don't care. It's up to you. But the reality is go in here and you're going to find out how you can bring that down real fast, naturally. But do whatever you want. We do know that you shouldn't take antibiotics unless it's a life-threatening situation because they cause them, right? Okay. All right. So the reality is when you take an antibiotic, it goes in, it goes off like a what? Atomic bomb in your large intestine. And then what? And then what? You don't know? It kills the bad bacteria and it also kills good bacteria and it also dements them. Oh, what else does it do? It takes the yeast in your bowel, makes it into fungus. Oh my God, guess what, guys? Did you know that fungus wasn't supposed to come until you were dying or dead? Did you ever go into the bush and you see the tree that fell? And it's got holes in it? It's got drill bit predators because it's time to bring it back to the soil? Are you with me yet? So the reality is now you released a vibration that actually created this fungus. Most of you know it as candidiasis. So it causes, and it drills holes through your intestines. And that's what you call leaky gut. It's not leaky gut, it's leaky large intestine. It's not leaky small intestine, it's leaky large intestine. That's where autoimmune disease comes from. And every one of you that are suffering from anything, that's where it started. Your plumbing. Well, where else would it start? How could you infect any part of your body unless you infected it? Oh, yeah, there's deep science. So, does anybody notice something? 80% of the world looks like it's 3 months to 16 months pregnant. And they're not. And that's because of all the fungus, the bad bacteria. It's called endobacterium. And they're gassing off. And how many people know, with all the people that are saying, I'm low in iron, how many people know that it's a bacterial problem in your large intestine? That they're the ones that actually process the iron. I mean, everybody's talking about that now. Low iron, I got low iron. And then you go and take iron pills and now I'm constipated. Well, yeah. Well, if you're going to eat steel, it's going to happen. Understand that if you focused on your large intestine, did daily cleanse. Oh, here came the sales pitch. I knew he was up to it. Okay, so if you did daily cleansing tea, black gold, the ultimate coffee enema, just those 3 things, I'd change everybody's life here. And everybody needs to do it at least 10 days, and most of you need to do it for 20 days in a row. And the daily cleansing tea and the black gold never stops. You do it twice a day. And you would have saved yourself 85% of your problems. So now the 2 girls are going to take over and they're going to talk. And I'm going to take a break because the police are on their way. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so let's talk about the perfect day.
No, why don't you talk about what you're doing together?
Okay.
Okay, and it's not sexual. Okay.
And we're creating a perfect
The wellness
lifestyle.
Yeah, at the wellness hub.
So both of us joined up to the wellness hub, and that is a private members only. So in order to come and see us, You have to be a member. And the reason it's private, it's so that we can do whatever we want in there. And the authorities,
Are not welcome.
well, they have nothing to do with it, period, because it's private. So it is a one-time fee, it's $50. And Alicia and I are both master practitioners with Dr. Wolf. So we've got the Cellsonic, we do non-surgical, we do consultations, lots of different kinds, the Perfect Day, the nutritional, the water fast, the pelvic one.
Pelvic restoration and disease prevention for women.
Yes, and we are going to be having one this spring. I just have to secure a time. It'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's
So
a 3-day masterclass, and it's inexpensive. I'm telling you.
For
We
women
dropped
only.
the price by $800 because everybody's pinched. We dropped the prices in all our courses, Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical, okay, and the prices have dropped. Right here, love. And the prices have dropped by 30 to 40%. And we also made it in the same currency of the country. No matter if you came to Mexico, it'd be in your currency, right? But the reality is we're doing our part. Go ahead.
So within the 3-day masterclass, all of us women have issues. Well, everybody, men too.
Men too, but men don't. They pretend they don't
Yeah, they pretend they don't.
until they can't stand up.
Yeah. You can move that bag if someone wants to move one. Okay. Good. Okay. So it's a 3-day masterclass, and we get the ladies to take a selfie on that first day and on the last day, and it blows me away the difference in the face, how bright it is at the end. You know, we don't understand how
Disconnected we are.
thank you, how disconnected we are to the pelvic area. And for women, this is our holy grail for healing.
How many women were made to feel dirty when they were younger? And that area is really dirty.
Well, even just having
Set up.
even just having a menstrual cycle. I remember when, I first got it, it was a curse. It wasn't a blessing. What happened? It used to be a blessing. Think of the women that gathered in their tribe, and us women, so long as we're not toxic, we have our cycles that connect with the moon cycles. And, that's so everybody, all the women would gather in, the red tent, let's say. And the older women would educate on what's happening during this time and how they should be able to take care of that beautiful area. And most of us, by the time we're in our 30s, our pelvic floor is
Rotting out.
and losing tone, and by the time we're in our 40s, our uterus and could be the rectum too are starting to fall out. Our bits and pieces are falling out because the tone's not there, and it's the tissue's rotted. But here's the thing. If we start to take care of that area, start to do some exercises, so we go over some exercises you can be doing. We talk about the vaginal infusion. So the vaginal infusion is nutraceuticals that you mix together, and you insert up the vagina.
It's all in the Perfect Day guide, right?
It is, all in the Perfect Day. And nutraceuticals from the bottom up work 65% better than nutraceuticals taken orally, because anything orally has to go through the digestion. I mean, doctors they overprescribe because they know you're not going to be able to break it down properly, and they want you to get X amount of poison, right? So the vaginal infusion is an amazing thing to be doing. The ultimate coffee enemas, is another thing that we talk about.
And then getting on your core products, daily cleansing tea, black gold, black diamond to support your gut health and cleanse your blood.
And then the perfect day lifestyle, like how are you eating? What are you bringing into your body?
What are you thinking?
And that is the biggest thing. So the 4 pillars of the perfect day we talk about. So you don't have to have had any other of the courses to take the pelvic restoration and disease prevention masterclass. And it is phenomenal. The first one that I took, I was already a master practitioner and I thought I had it all together. Well, no, I didn't, because I was not connected to that pelvic area. I had a huge disconnect. We never mentioned it earlier. If everybody could put their phones on airplane mode, that would be really great. Or turn them right off. No, that's okay.
We, as women, have lost our connection to that sacred divine feminine. And so when you go through both like the meditations and the healing circles that we do within it, and getting to hear other women's stories, there's that chance to connect with yourself, but also with the other women in the room.
And they're like, by the time, even at childbearing age, women are having problems like incontinence. It's huge. It's huge. This is not a little thing. Go into Costco and see how many different types of diapers you can have for adults. I mean,
There's one for all of you.
it's
There's a whole row now. Nice colors, right? You know, little koalas on some of them.
Yay. And the koala
Just think
disappears
about it. You
when
can
it
go
gets
out
wet.
for at least 3 days. You don't even have to go home.
But we don't want to, we've got to understand that we do not have to be in pain.
Do you know why there's so many Depends in Costco? Because we're rotting out. Does everybody understand that every disease, whether it's from your toes to your nose, you're rotting out in your pelvis? Did you know that? No. You don't get it. People just don't get it. If they were on top of the large intestine, this would not happen. That's the holy grail.
And you know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, you go and have a surgery in the pelvic area, and well, how come the doctor doesn't say something like, "Oh my gosh, you should have seen what we found in there"? Yeah. Well, yeah, really. Like
99 out of 100 people have worms. Only 1 out of 100 people do not have worms, and guess what? Doing a worm cleanse doesn't get rid of them. You have to do a perfect day lifestyle. You'll never have them. How many people know that 95% of all worms in the human body you did not eat in your food? They were actually bred in your body because your tissues are rotting.
again, we shouldn't be dying like that. We shouldn't. You know, and we've been ruled, schooled, and fooled to believe the body cannot heal. And, you know, we get a cut and we don't question the fact that it's going to heal. It's everything else we have to run to the doctor for. It's true. It's true. You know, when you've got an emergency and you're at the emergency in the hospital, how long do you have to wait? It's a long time unless you're, you know, bleeding profusely. You know, and that's normal. I don't want to be normal anymore.
You get that book and you begin to be able to triage yourself, right? Because you can take a look at what symptoms you have and what you can do to support your body through what actually is a healing crisis and not so much an emergency. And your body's looking for support to move you through that, because your body's always trying to heal. The question is, does it have what it needs on a nutritional level? And then, of course, taking a look at that emotional level, because the brain secretes hormonal chemistry based on your emotions.
Yeah. If we could all really, like Daryl said, come from the heart. If I'm having a real difficulty, I am going to put my hand on my heart and I'm going to slow my breathing down. When I touch my heart, it tells my body I'm safe. When I slow my breathing down, I connect to the parasympathetic nervous system. You know, our breath is the first thing that's going to either put us in the sympathetic nervous system or take us out.
The faster you're breathing and you're being chased by a tiger, it's like there's actual physical danger present.
Yeah, and we wonder why people are getting diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Even kids are getting diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It used to be called adult onset. Type 2 diabetes, if I am living my life in that sympathetic nervous system, one of the things that I get is a surge of glucose running through my veins so that I have instant energy. But if I'm just doing life, I don't need it. So I'm gonna have extra glucose in my blood. And I'm gonna go to the doctor one day and they are gonna tell me, you got type 2 diabetes.
And you don't.
No, you've been running from a paper tiger.
With no teeth.
Yeah, it can't even bite you. Question?
You guys talk about whole life coach, and because it's really important for those who really want to master their life and really do go to Brainwash Boot Camp, and then talk about the non-surgical and maybe just your journey, where you came from. Two of you.
Okay, we've got a question in the back here.
What's the difference between Healthy to 100 and the new book?
Can I answer that? Only because I had something to do with it. Healthy to 100 is the book you give to someone. It's humorous all the way through, and it gives you prime examples and of just life. You can't read Healthy to 100 and not do a flip switch with your life. Now, once we actually got you believing that maybe, you know, you've been programmed, okay, incorrectly. Why don't you go and become your own practitioner? Why don't you just take it in your own hands? How many of you know that, you know what, 99% of what you rush to the hospital and your kids is in that book? It's less expensive. Look, that book is a gift. That's my gift to the world. Every one of you should be finding your passion and purpose in gifting the world. That's what you all need to do. And most of you gave it up. You gave up your passion, you gave up your purpose, and you gave up your gift. Because you bought into a story, because that's what you do. You need to go and get it. Go back and get it. Pick it up, dust it off, and do it. And if you can't afford it, the Healthy to 100 is in the library. You can download it. Okay,
You can download it for free, and
yeah.
I have, I think, 5 copies, and I think they're $20 each.
Yeah, they're $20 each, but you know what? The book's worth way more than that.
Yeah.
You know what? How would you like a book that actually tells the truth all the way through, that 1 and 1 are 2, not 11, and an 8-year-old could read that book and understand it? Understand something right now. Everybody that goes to a government-approved school is taught to say big words to the average person to make you feel like you are dumb and you cannot heal yourself. You're so stupid. Seriously. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing professional about that. We've got a bunch of people that want to be way up here and talk down to people, and they don't even know it. Or they just think they're going to make a lot of money. What?
I always say somebody has to write those books, right? What they're teaching whoever, whether it's the kids or even us adults, right?
Well, let's take a look at the latest book that was actually written, okay, for psychologists, psychiatrists, and for mental health workers for the government. Pfizer gave $14 million to 10 people to write this book. And that's the book they use right across the board in North America. So understand something. It's all a play on you. And that's it. Every one of you can have perfect health.
You got to decide.
You have to decide.
Yeah.
And you have to decide to have perfect health when your family thinks you're crackers. And you know what? Everybody in your family are addicts. Every one of them are addicts. No, nobody smokes in my family or drinks. Yeah, they just do a lot of other crap. There's enough drugs and there's enough colors, there's enough poisons, there's enough GMOs, there's enough glyphosate in all of the regular products that everybody buys. God, every time you have a family get-together, you all try to kill each other. Look what I brought! Whoa!
That was beautiful.
Tell me I'm wrong. I just want to know.
Yes.
God, this is my chance to pig out and get drunk and fit in. Shut up, Martha. I'm with the family.
Okay. That being said. So I met Daryl. Well, I started.
You said you met. I regret meeting Daryl.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I met. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I met him about 5 years ago, and I was 180 pounds. I'm 5'5", and I didn't have any aches or pains. But
Do you know why? Because she suppressed her emotions, so she also suppressed her pain.
it's the truth.
That's the truth.
It's the truth. It's the truth. And here's
How
another.
are you 180 pounds and not feeling anything? What are you, dead?
It's the truth. It's the truth. And
Deadhead.
I thought I looked good for my age.
You do.
Now,
Well, even before. You know what? This is as good as it gets.
well, and that's what it is. You know, I was comparing myself to my nearest 5 people that I hung around with, and my daughter told me once, "You look the best, Mom." So I went with that. But was I happy? No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Was I loving my body? Absolutely not. Was I loving everybody else? Oh my gosh, with all my heart. I would have done anything for everybody and
She
more.
died for them. Isn't that nice?
And that's what I was on my way to doing. I had cancer when I was 36. I went to the Tom Baker Clinic here for 14 years. They wanted to follow me. Doctors know statistics. They do not know the spirit of that person. I had young kids when I was diagnosed, and I was told 4 years. 4 years, maybe. No, it's been 30 years.
You didn't hear them right. They said 40.
Yeah, maybe. maybe. And I remember when I went through treatment the first year. I did the chemotherapy and the radiation and the surgeries, and then a year later, cancer came back. And I said, nope, I'm not doing this. In that year, I turned my head to alternative. And I was drinking spirulina and chlorella, and I was over the sink trying to choke it
I'm
down.
trying to cut you off, but guess what? Don't you love it? We are the primary. They're the alternative. The AMA, okay, never existed except 120 years ago. We existed with the beginning of time. Everything in my book has come from centuries ago.
Traditional.
Yes,
We
traditional.
are not the alternative.
Yeah,
You all got sucked in.
that
Yeah,
changed
and then
when.
I'm your primary physician. I don't want to be your primary anything. You want to be your primary practitioner if you want to have a great life.
Nobody knows you better than you.
You. Yeah.
That's not true. I know people way better than those.
When you tuned into it, that's a rare
Okay,
exception.
fine, this time. I thought you were putting me down.
So we've got to be our own detective, our own practitioner, and we've got to start asking questions and looking deep into here first. Because I know when I was first diagnosed, I said, "Oh, my mom had cancer." Yep. But that's not, it is not genetic. It's been proven time and time again
There
that
are no genetic diseases.
it's epigenetic. So how are you doing life? That's what I learned, is how I could do life. And that's why I ended up where I did.
That's where my journey started, was with the whole epigenetics question, and it got me onto superfoods and herbs, and just looking at my diet is really where it started. I was 21, I was like, I want to stay young forever, and I learned about epigenetics. I'm like, hey, so it's what I eat, it's what I drink, and then it took me a little longer, and then I was like, oh, it's what you think too. So I was about 32, and I started learning about kind of metaphysics, which is what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And then I turned 33 and I found Daryl's library. And I was like, oh, I need to do this whole life coach. And I definitely want to do that non-surgical. Like, I heard him talk about it so much, I was like, I need to do that too. But the whole life coach is what really got me, because my mom had cancer at the time, and I listened to the emotional chemistry in cancer, and that just really hit home, because my mother actually had stage 4 melanoma, and she lived with that for 8 years. But what she could not comprehend was the emotional component. The resentment and the guilt that she held on to is what ultimately did her in, because she in the end kind of entered the medical system for her last 2 years. And when they did the surgery, it spread all over. And just from incorporating Dr. Detox protocols, because it was just after her surgery that I really dug into everything, she cleared all the cancer where it had spread, all of it, except for the original spot. And then that's just a downhill story from there. But it was on an emotional level where she was just unable to let go. Let go.
And that's one of the...
Let go and let love in.
And let love in, because she
Remember,
definitely
you
did
don't
not.
have to let go.
Yeah.
And that, we're kind of off track there. Don't let go. Just let love in.
Yeah.
Don't let go, let love in. You know, somebody here last night said, well, what do you do with all those belief systems? And, you know, I got to work on those. It's such hard work. And I'm going, no, all you got to do is just love yourself. Go home and do a Braveheart contract and start doing the love band, start doing the mirror work. And if you have a partner, do couples connection.
She needed to let love for herself in.
Yeah.
That was the big, and well, the one thing to let go was her mom. She blamed her mom for everything.
Yeah. The
Well, who likes mothers?
in the library and in this manual here, there is the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, and I challenge each and every one of you to start doing them. You can go into the library, it's free, and do it. Do it, and do it with all your heart. I counsel people all over the world, and the ones who get it, who get their health back, are the ones who grab onto all 4 pillars. So the diet, the nutraceuticals, the exercises, and the Braveheart emotional work. I'll get a call even 4 weeks, 2 weeks later, and they're saying, OMG, this stuff is amazing. It works. You know, when I met Daryl, the very first course, the Whole Life Coach, there was 8 of us in it. And when it came to, we were doing the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, and we all had to do the mirror work, the Braveheart oath in front of the mirror. And I wasn't very, my heart was pounding just thinking of going up in front of even 2 people having to do this mirror work. And when it was my turn, I couldn't even look myself in the eyes. I couldn't speak one word, let alone a whole paragraph. I couldn't get anything out. I knew that I did not have that love for myself. So how could I say that? You know, it was the most profound thing I did, is doing that 12 loving steps. I'm so different now than what I ever was. And if I can do this at my age, I'm 66, what can you do? What legacy are you willing to leave for your children? Is it a legacy of sickness and disease and
Self-limiting beliefs.
Or are you going to start cracking your own coconut because you have to? You have to go from the inside out. Now, I begged my husband to come and take this course, and he would not. You know, it just,
It's a life-changing experience when you really start to go in and look inside, and like when you do the mirror work, it takes a while, but you'll see yourself for the first time. I'd say it's different for everybody. It took me till my third whole life coach before I really saw myself. Like I could say it, I could look at myself, but I would say I was looking at myself more as a whole rather than looking into my soul.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like that's what I felt when I went up to the mirror there, and it was less like acting, because it starts out as acting.
It does, and you want to be able to say that with so much emotion, so much passion for that beautiful person that you are. You know, we should have the same passion for ourselves as we did for that beautiful baby we just gave birth to. And we don't. We don't. So you got to come back to that self-love. Come back to taking care of these beautiful bodies. Because like what Daryl said, if you've got any issues, you're not loving your body.
And they end up in your tissues. That's right.
And that brings us to the Wolf Non-Surgical.
Yeah.
Oh, I would just want to say one other thing. I knew by the time I was 36 that I was missing something.
I'm 36 this year.
And I did a lot of different personal development, and none of it got me even a fraction of the way that I did after taking Daryl's whole life coach. His approach is beautiful. It really is. He's coming from the heart. I can't say enough. It's just a beautiful thing. And all of us who are here teaching, Alicia and I teach the pelvic course and do consultations, and even the body work. You know, we need to be in tune with ourselves to be in tune with the people we're working on, so that we can do the job that we need to do and get our clients to that point where they're able to release the trauma that is stuck in the tissues.
So the non-surgical ends up being really a catalyst to your body's own regenerative processes, basically. So when we go through working on you, we're helping to open up that tissue that's bound, that has scar tissue, crystallization, displaced calcium, and helping to lovingly open it up so that the blood and the lymph can come back to that tissue, and you're restoring the natural flow.
That's the spark of life. So people who come to us and they say, you know, I need a hip replacement, I need a knee replacement, I tore my rotator cuff, or
I have no cartilage left.
yeah, the cartilage is there. It's just dehydrated so much. In an x-ray, it looks like bone. So yes, the doctors are going to say it's bone on bone, but it's not.
Just remember, we give a money-back guarantee on all our courses, all our trainings, and all our treatments. So I don't really care if you don't believe it. You just don't believe it because you've never heard the story before. You believe in the story that, guess what, it's too late. Who's telling you it's too late?
It's never too late.
Somebody who... I went to my surgeon, he said I need surgery. I know that. If you went to the butcher, he'd tell you you need to buy some meat.
So the Wolf Non-Surgical is the most powerful body work that you can get done. If you have any, well, we all have issues in our tissues. I don't care who you are.
Say you've never felt a strong emotion.
The emotions get trapped in the tissues, and then we get the issues in the tissues.
Why don't you tell them a little bit how long it is? It's on, like the whole life coach is only 9 days.
Yeah.
I'll give you a money back at the end of the third day if you haven't felt that you found yourself and that you can stand in your power. Is that true?
It's true. And again, it's simple, but is it easy? Huh. It is. It's simple. It's simple. You know,
And I'll tell you, you know what, I gotta come over. Because I'll tell you how it gets, can I tell you why it gets simple? I'll tell you why it gets simple. All you have to do is love yourself. And the only reason why you can't is because you are disrespecting family beliefs. You weren't allowed to love yourself. Who do you think you are?
You might be judged.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, by the end of the third day, it always happens. It can happen before. We had one person on the last course. It was the morning of the fourth, right? Yeah. But the reality is that, don't get me wrong, go try your own way to do it. But those of you who want to bring the thunder down and you want the suffering over with, is it true?
it's true.
Or you can just drag it. Oh, I can't afford it. Really? You can't afford it.
You can't afford not to.
Yeah, it's just, you've got to take.
It's $4,000. Seriously?
Say you can't afford not to, because what you will unlock within yourself is worth far more than what you will spend.
It's worth you getting your life back.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth you getting that quality of life that we were promised.
Yeah, that we were promised. What a lie.
That we
And also,
deserve.
all of you can learn how to do the non-surgical, couldn't they?
Absolutely.
You could all learn how to do it. You could fix yourself, fix your family, and you could do it. I'm telling you that the most powerful body work in the world takes no more than 12 days. By the third day, do they go, wow? By the third day, you're seeing, if you take the whole life coach course, I do two people every day, don't I?
Yeah.
And guess what I do? I work on things that everybody, the chiropractor, massage therapist, the acupuncturist, the homeopath, the physiotherapist, I've been everywhere. And it usually takes what? 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's always been a scar tissue issue. How many practitioners have you gone to and they said, all this is a scar tissue calcification issue. All we got to do is just, pull the scar tissue apart. It's beef jerky, guys. Take a look at everybody here that's over the age of 60. They're waddling or they're limping in and out of here. And it's all because of calcification in their joints. That's like the door hinge if it's rusty. And guess what? And because of the inflammation caused dehydration, and now it's beef jerky. So they don't have the elasticity. I'm going to be 67. Listen, I've got young kids, all right? They're in great shape. They're in the prime of their life. And I play sports with them and I win. Because I am a whole life coach. It's my belief systems too. I got this. Every day I wake up, I go, I'm 1% more than I was yesterday. I'm going to do more. Let me tell you something. I've done in the last probably 2 months what most people don't do in their life. If you change your beliefs, you change your life. And they're not your beliefs. They were your parents' beliefs. They were your teachers' beliefs. It was the church's beliefs. It was the government's beliefs. And understand that. And you're still running on that. I don't care if you are 85 years old, okay? Even if you're 85 years old, you're still running on beliefs that you got from 0 to 7. How many of you are still having tantrums? How many of you are still holding grudges? Seriously. How many of you have not been able to break your addictions? How many of you feel unworthy? How many of you feel like you missed the mark? How many feel like they're sinners or losers or failures? It's all a lie. It's a lie. Change your life, change your beliefs, that's it.
And when's a good time to start?
Right now. Right now.
And if you don't do it now, when's the next time? It's now. It's still now.
And I will tell you, please don't get me wrong, but the majority of you are never going to do it. Do you know why? Because you're going to disrupt your family. Because they're used to you being like that. Look at how many of you have the same arguments with yourself and your family. It's been going on for years. Seriously? And you know what? There's nothing wrong with you because every one of you are beautiful. You're spirit beings. You have a heart. All you want to do is love. Why don't you start practicing on yourselves, okay?
You can't give what you do not have.
That's right. You can't. And if you just get that, and keep on searching externally for your Savior. Keep on searching for your practitioner externally. Keep searching for your Savior. And listen, if your Savior happens to show up, great, but can we get started?
Yeah.
So we're going to come back after the break, and we're going to work on 2 people with non-surgical, and we're also going to do a bit of a nutritional consultation for 2 people here tonight. Okay? And build a protocol for them. And then while I'm doing that, Alicia's going to be doing spot work. Oh, I've had this knot for like ever, and I went to the chiropractor like every week for like a year or 2 years or 10 years. And I'll show you that we know what we're doing. Okay? So she'll do like about 3 to 5 minutes on you. Okay? All right? Just to show you that I'm telling you the truth. Thanks for not walking out yet. But when you go to the bathroom, you probably could sneak out. Okay.
Still have time.
10 minutes. Okay? All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. We will be back on, but we will not be letting TikTok on because they kicked me off. Thank you.